Benchmade AF02 9051 versus a Protech SnG, and even a Benchmade 9050 AFO. So whichever one you pretty much compared to this one. So for that AF02, got an overall length of 8.5 inches. Go ahead and open this up, I reckon. Blade length of 3.56. Blade thickness of 1300ths. 154 cm steel. The Rockwell hardness of 58 to 60. Handle length of 4.95 inches. And a weight of 5.8 ounces. And a handle thickness of 0.6 inches. So for the SnG here, .25 overall, 3.5 inch blade, 1300ths blade thickness, 154 cm, and I'm thinking that they Rockwell their blades to 59. I think their blades are just a flat 59. No variances, theoretically. Handle length of 4.75 inches, and handle thickness of 1/2 inch, 0.5, and handle length of 4.95 inches. So they're fairly comparable. Kind of a good comparison. I don't think there's a whole lot of difference dimensionally between the two here. There's a some. Most of it's aesthetic. Might be a little deeper blade here on this one. A little bit of blade shape, but for all intents and purposes, we'll compare the two. So the Benchmade does have a little longer handle length, and actually a little longer blade length, and then quite a bit of blade cutting edge differences. It's a good 1/2 inch, I'm thinking. Like when you really put them up next to each other, like there's your, relatively, you can see quite a bit of difference. Two different blade shapes. So that Protech, you can classify that as a leaf shape, drop point, or a leaf. I'm not really sure how this is going to turn out. The light's kind of funny. I'm outside. Sun's been out. It's dang near, well, it's saying 59 degrees. I am not sure. Got somebody down the way. I think they're snow blowing or something. So you might be able to pick that noise up. So yeah, we'll start with the Protech. Push button auto. Side opening. I've done a video on it a while back. Aluminum handles, 6061 T6 aluminum. Knurled for extra traction. Safety on the side. Nice positive click for the most part. Not a reversible pocket clip. Tip up. Titanium, as I understand it. One bolt, and then a little flange, little hook, tooth. Good centering, good fit and finish, great action. The one big difference between on the action and lockup between the two, because they're both push button, plunger type locks, is this one actually has blade stop pins, external stop pins, plus, well, that's pretty much how it runs. There is no internal stop pin that's of any use, anyway, that comes into effect. Just external ones, kind of reminiscent of thumb studs, but obviously they're not thumb studs because it is an automatic, single act, or it's not manual at all. Really cool grind on it. Got a saber grind, the tall, long sweep of flat grind down to the secondary bevel there. Finger choil, sharpening notch, and that Strider handle shape. So, definitely, in my experience, the way I use it, is it does like to use that forward choil on the blade. You do lose some blade length that way from what they've done there, but it is what it is. It's kind of a small little guy. If you do grab it in this grip, if you're doing any kind of hard cutting, and your hand's bigger than mine, or actually even smaller to a certain extent, also a big extent, I don't know, that point just rocks me right in the middle of my palm, and I don't like it for like hard cutting. If you are hard cutting, you can choke up on it like so, but does like the reverse grip. Very nice. Got some structure down here, some jimping. And of course, you could choke up and do it as well. I think it's designed, if you're going to be doing a reverse grip, would be like yay. Got some jimping up on the blade. It's pretty functional, not too aggressive. So I think it's more of an everyday carry knife myself, and self-defense. It is not a field knife, just because of some of those things. You can't get these with a smooth handle. They're not knurled. I went for the knurled. The smooth handle would be like, the whole handle would be like that without the extra knurling on it. You can see that lockup is real solid. So no blade play at all in this knife. Up, down, side to side. Good lockup, really smooth action. I mean, this thing is a very well done, well put together knife. I guess the centering is off just a tad to the left as you're looking at it, but not bad. Not bad at all. Titanium pocket clip is great. One more thing I was going to do is just for kind of a scale, I was going to throw up that Mannix 2. But you can see here, put that in your pocket, how that rides. It's a little fat there on the butt, but not bad. Looks cool. I know it wasn't a very good view, but that's what we got going. Real quick, smooth, solid action. So that's a great knife. Now compare it to this bad boy. Stronger spring, actually. Action is about the same, I think. Honestly, not quite as smooth, but not smooth. Actually, that's pretty smooth too. Just a little bit more of a hitch, kind of a hitch in that action, whereas this one is kind of like the same exact tension all the way. There's no hitch in it. Not that this one is bad by any means. In fact, it'll probably, as it breaks in even more, it'll get, I don't know, they're about comparable. This one, it might be a little rougher. This one's been used a lot more. Very good actions, though, on both. So this one, internal stop pin, hexagonal. Hopefully that'll turn out. I'm not sure with this light. I can't really tell. And I'm wearing sunglasses because it's actually bright out here. This one, centering is off. Pretty well off. Doesn't rub, but it's off. Centering on this one is spotless down the middle. Perfection. So this one, internal stop pin, no external stop pin. So better grip, better ergonomics on this one. It's got the palm swell on it, right there in the middle. Does have these newer ones, the 9051s, AF02s do have jimping here and here, and then again, actually some right here, but then some right there too. For like, just added grip. I don't find it necessary, but I also don't find it a problem. Doesn't bother me. The older ones do not have either one of those. Smooth. It's actually preferred to me. Safety is on the back here. Locks both ways. It'll lock so you can't open it or shut it, and it'll lock so you can't open it. Going back and forth in the two, I honestly don't think either one of these knives need it. Okay, need a safety. I don't like the safeties myself, but this one actually, you do get used to it, but it is there. Like in different grips, you'll be able to feel it, reverse grip, whatnot. If you have your thumb up there, but it's not a problem. It's not like it's in the way. It's just like you can tell it's there. This one, I think honestly, it's never gonna affect you. But there again, you don't need it on this one either. And I think they do have versions without it. I think that the smooth handled one does not have a safety. You only get a safety if you get the knurled. But I really wanted the knurled, so I ended up just kind of by default get the safety. So ergonomics on the AF0 definitely better. Blade shape probably more functional for out in the woods, that kind of thing. For hard use, the handle definitely, the handle shape is, I mean, heads above, heads and tails and ankles and elbows and whatnot above the Protech. Now the Protech, it's not Protech's fault. They are just simply mimicking. There might be a sandhill crane out there. Mimicking the Strider. That's all it is. It's a copy of the Strider. So personally, I don't find that Strider handle shape to be very good. Maybe the SMF, the bigger version, would have been better. But like I've pointed out, it does rub you right, hits you right there at pressure point. Not very comfortable. Other than that, though, flawless execution of it, I think, in my opinion. I mean, like I said, real good action, good fit and finish. There's nothing on this knife that's a flaw. I've carried it quite a bit. It is not my work knife, woods knife type thing like these guys are. That's what these are designed for. A little bit, just a burlier build, I think. I do like that this one is solid handle, though. And I do like this solid handle. Real easy to clean out. Just the Q-tip, maybe some Lysol, lighter fluid, you know, whatever. I don't oil these. I don't oil any auto knife. You can at first. You got to break them in. Because the one thing I've noticed with autos is when they do get wet at first, when they're not really broken in, they will get a little tad bit sluggish, tad bit sticky. So I guess you can speed that along by adding oil to it then, you know, put a little oil in there for the first bit, and then by the time that wears out, because all oil does, in my opinion, is attract dirt. And if you're like me, you're out in the dirt, you're out in the ash. I'm a firefighter. And when I'm not fighting fires, I'm still outside. I'm out in the woods, or working, whatever you're doing. You're going to get sawdust, you're going to get dirt, everything is going to could get gummed up. Oil, not a good idea for auto knives, I don't think, in my opinion. Any knife for that matter. It just seems like it would attract dirt and cause parts to wear quicker. So just keep them clean. Rinse them out with water. So after they do get broken in, though, and when they do get wet, they don't become sticky or sluggish. Then they're broken in my opinion. That's how I look at it. This one, I have never oiled it. It's just smooth out of the box. It's never been dirty. I've never carried it to work. I have used it on wood quite a bit. And it is a good, I mean, that is a good slicing blade. It really is. Must be pretty thin behind the edge. I don't know. I don't have really any way of measuring that, but just doing a manual measurement, pretty thin. I actually think it's thinner behind the edge than this. They're both kind of the same, though. Same blade style. Maybe a little bit more of an acute tip on this one. Otherwise, about the same. This one's definitely more ergonomic on the back anyway. I think they did make mistakes with the excessive jimping on that metal, but otherwise, I love this knife. Guess we can put that away. So yeah, both really good. All really good auto knives. 154 cm grade steel, especially for a field knife, because it's pretty easy to sharpen, holds a good edge. Stain resistant at the minimum. Never had it rust at all. Never had any rust, even in salt water, and I've rinsed them off. Every time they've been in salt water, they get rinsed off. But if they're not in salt water, and even like cutting up oranges or fruit, citrus fruit, whatever, I mean, I never excessively oil the blade or clean them off. They just don't rust. So, and other blades you have, like maybe S30V, maybe XHP, they're in a kind of a humid area. I have had spotting on those types of steels, pretty much all of their steels, except for 154. So I'm assuming Protech is the same. They got a little smoother finish on it than what Benchmade. Benchmade usually does like that. I think part of the blade will be, if it's not coated, it'll be stone washed, and then kind of a satin. Where these are, it's kind of all satin or all polished. Not really how you'd say it, but something to think about. And don't get me wrong, this is I think it's a pretty durably built knife. And it would hold up in the field, definitely. It would definitely hold up in the field, that would be my guess. So I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm just saying to me, it's not quite as comfortable So if these are going, if you're like looking at both of these, and you just want an everyday carry knife, I would say this will be fine. I would still go with this. I think dimensionally, just in the pocket, I do have this. I carry these tip down, and they come tip down, but you can put them tip up as an option. If you do that, actually, it'll ride deeper in your pocket. I just historically, traditionally carry these tip down because that's how my original one came. I think the original ones were only tip down. Like, you didn't have that option. This one you do, but it's actually a newer one, you can see. But it's actually a newer of the old, kind of a revision of the old version. And then this is the new version, if that makes sense. So, this one, definitely tip up. Carries well. Looks cool in the pocket. That's a bonus. But you can see dimensionally, this is like kind of like that hockey puck shape. That's what I kind of call them, is a kind of a puck, kind of a round shape. Takes up more room in the pocket, whereas these are not. They're more of a straight, slimmer. So, my preference. These do weigh more, 5.8 ounces. I think this was like almost 5, so almost a full ounce heavier for this, because I think these were like technically 4.95 ounces, 5.8 ounces. So almost an ounce heavier, but I don't really, never an issue for me. I think I can detect that one's a little bit lighter weight, but I'd rather go for the more room in the pocket myself. That one's got routed outliner, so it's a little bit lighter, I think, than even that. But yeah, I mean, my choice, always the Benchmade AF02. My favorite. I just think all the way around. Different grip types. You can always choke up on these things as long as you're careful, not a problem. This one, you're pretty much, as long as you don't have like a little kid's hand, my hands are extra large. I wear an extra large glove. I think long, skinny fingers. That's where I get that. But even then, I mean, if you're going to hold it in a regular old grip and you lose all that extra blade length. So, too bad. I wish they would come out with an SMF, like the bigger version. I think that would be kind of cool. I'd definitely get one. Also, Blade HQ right now, as I was getting the dimensions on these, they do have their green and copper. So it's like army, or like kind of an olive green, I think, olive drab handle, and then like a copper coating on the blade. They look cool. Right now I'm not in the position of wanting to buy anything. So if I was, I'd be really tempted, though there's still other knives that I'm interested in, but it's that cool color combination. I think Cold Steel has done the Recon 1 in that version, like a green handle and then a copper. I think it was green and copper on theirs. I can't remember, but anyway, so yeah, I think that's all I got. For now, anyway. I'll probably watch this, see if it even turns out, because the lighting is kind of odd. But, yeah, I hope everybody's having a good day and staying very healthy. Like, we'll get over this. I think it's, I'm not going to say we're on the downhill cycle of this whole pandemic, but I think should start thinking more positively now. So anyway, yeah, have a good one.